Hello and welcome to our video on the best lessons we can learn from the classic movie, Mutiny on the Bounty, released in 1935. This movie is based on the real-life mutiny that occurred in 1789 on the HMS Bounty. Although the movie takes some creative liberties, it still offers valuable insights and lessons that we can apply to our own lives today. So, without further ado, let's get started. Lesson 1. Leadership and the abuse of power. The first lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about leadership and the abuse of power. Captain Bligh, played by Charles Laughton, is a prime example of a leader who abuses his power. He is cruel to his crew and has a lack of empathy towards their needs. This type of leadership style can lead to resentment and even rebellion. Example. In one scene, Captain Bligh orders the flogging of a crew member for stealing food, despite the fact that the crew member was only trying to feed himself. This harsh punishment shows how Captain Bligh's abuse of power can lead to unnecessary cruelty and resentment among his crew. Lesson 2. The importance of communication. The second lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the importance of communication. Effective communication between leaders and their team is crucial for achieving goals and avoiding misunderstandings. In the movie, the lack of communication between Captain Bligh and his crew leads to tension and mistrust. Example. In one scene, Captain Bligh orders the crew to sail around a dangerous cape without explaining why or providing any reassurance. This lack of communication causes fear and mistrust among the crew, leading them to question Bligh's leadership and decision-making abilities. Lesson 3. The consequences of rebellion. The third lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the consequences of rebellion. The crew's decision to mutiny against Captain Bligh leads to serious consequences, such as legal repercussions and a lifetime of guilt and shame. Example. After the mutiny, the crew is forced to live in hiding and fear for their lives. Eventually, they are caught and brought to trial, where they are found guilty and sentenced to death. This example shows how rebellion can have serious consequences, and that sometimes it is better to find alternative solutions to problems. Lesson 4. The importance of honesty and integrity. The fourth lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the importance of honesty and integrity. Fletcher Christian, played by Clark Gable, is a character who stands up for what he believes in, even when it goes against the norms and expectations of his society. Example. In one scene, Fletcher stands up to Captain Bligh and questions his leadership, despite the risk of punishment or even death. This act of honesty and integrity inspires others to join him in his rebellion, and ultimately leads to a change in the way the crew is treated. Lesson 5. The power of empathy. The fifth lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the power of empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others. In the movie, Fletcher Christian shows empathy towards the crew and their needs, which helps him build trust and loyalty. Example. In one scene, Fletcher stands up to Captain Bligh on behalf of the crew and demands better treatment and more supplies. This act of empathy helps to unite the crew and ultimately leads to a rebellion against Captain Bligh's tyrannical leadership. Lesson 6. The importance of teamwork. The sixth lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the importance of teamwork. No one can accomplish great things alone, and it takes a team working together to achieve success. Example. In the movie, the crew works together to overcome challenges, such as navigating dangerous waters and surviving in harsh conditions. Their teamwork and support for each other help them overcome adversity and achieve their goals. Lesson 7. The dangers of pride and arrogance. The seventh lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the dangers of pride and arrogance. Captain Bligh's pride and arrogance lead him to make decisions that are not in the best interest of his crew and ultimately contribute to his downfall. Example. In one scene, Captain Bligh refuses to listen to the warnings of his crew about navigating dangerous waters, insisting that he knows best. This arrogance leads to a disastrous outcome and puts the crew in danger. Lesson 8. The value of second chances. The eighth lesson we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty is about the value of second chances. Even after the mutiny and the legal repercussions that followed, there is still a chance for redemption and forgiveness. Example. In the movie, some of the crew members are given a second chance at life, and they use this opportunity to start fresh and make better choices. This shows that even after making mistakes, it is never too late to turn things around and make a positive change. And that's it for our video on the best lessons we can learn from Mutiny on the Bounty. We hope you found these insights valuable and relevant to your own life. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching.